welcome back to Afternoon Live. Did you know that owning a dog can help you live longer? Canine companionship helps both dogs and people. Here with tips to help you both stay healthy, we welcome veterinary sports medicine expert, Dr. Kelly Fishman. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Happy to be here, Hannah.
Tell me about your specialty. It sounds like you have a really cool job.
I have the best job on the planet. So what my area of veterinary medicine is, it's all about keeping dogs mobile. So after surgery, providing what will be the equivalent of physical therapy. So dogs doing exercises, getting massage, cold laser, all that sort of stuff. And then we also work in the world of dog athletes, so agility dogs and working dogs like police dogs, helping them stay fit and stay healthy. And then I have a lot of my own patients, which are actually senior dogs and cats that are slowing down. So you have the older dog or cat that just isn't getting around as much and you want to do as much as you can for them. So I help support people by giving their pets options to increase mobility as they age.
That's so cool. You really see these animals across the spectrum at all points in their lives. Do you have some nutrition advice for us, things that maybe we should think about adding to our pet's diet to help them out?
Yeah, so, 5 years ago, I would have said add fish oil, add fish oil, add fish oil. But now I'm actually a huge proponent of adding probiotics. So as we're realizing in humans that gut health is very important, we're also realizing that in dogs, gut health is very important as well. So it used to be you'd add a probiotic when they had a little bit of a tummy upset. But actually, probiotics can be beneficial in dogs with allergies and then also the ones with anxiety disorders. So, for example, my own cat has a separation anxiety, so I give him probiotics to help with that. And then, so for every dog, I love a good quality canine probiotic. And then because I'm in my area of medicine, which is all about movement and mobility, I think of good quality joint supplements, especially things like collagen are wonderful because they benefit the joints and they're very protective for all that wear and tear that your dog gets. But then also it's great for the skin and coat. So collagen's a wonderful essential one as well. And then the other thing that I love to say is, feed the muscle. So doing things like, nice protein sources, especially things like, fertilized egg yolks and that sort of things to feed the muscle is really beneficial.
That's so great. And then what about humans and dogs moving together, keeping that longevity for both of you? Are there certain exercises that we could do as a team?
So many exercises. I have hundreds of exercises. So when I first do meet a pet parent and they want to do a consultation for whatever and whoever their dog is, I say, if you could just spare 5 minutes 3 times a week to do little things to maintain strength in our dog, just like we would want to do. So you could do the equivalent of a dog plank. You could do dog backwards walking, which helps to build their hamstring muscles, and you could do dog squats and then also dog push-ups. So lots of stuff out there that I teach my pet parents. Oh yeah, there's dog push-ups right there.
I was going to say, what exactly does that look like? This is so great.
Yeah.
So how would we lead them through this?
So a lot of it is doing, because we can't communicate verbally, you're going to do a push-up. So I use treats and then what I call love treats or lots of, positive reinforcement to get the dog to do what I want. So I first have to teach them to do the exercise and then they master it and then they become good at it and they get strong enough to continue to do lots of reps and sets and things like that. But lots of dog treats, lots of, good boys, good girls, positive, praise. And they're just happy. Like dogs want to exercise. We don't. I certainly don't. But certainly the dogs love to. So
yeah, that positive reinforcement really goes a long way. What about their spine, stretching the spine?
Yes. So you can do something called a cookie or a spine stretch. So this is something that helps to almost like warm up the spine like dog yoga in the morning. So what I'm doing here with Simba is I'm just using the treat to move his little head back and forth, and that stretching is fine. And that's a great warm up that anyone can do with a dog of any age. Super easy to do, takes about 30 seconds, and is great just to like warm up the body before a cold day or a a walk or a hike that's longer than normal.
What about a literal downward dog? Like, I think we recognize that from human yoga, but it can, I mean, it makes sense. It would help the puppies too.
They do it. You can do it. And yeah, they naturally do a lot of the stretching on their own. So sometimes we just use pieces of equipment to get them to go deeper into the stretch or to do it when we need them to do it.
That's so amazing. Are there certain mistakes or moves that people make that maybe aren't super beneficial that you could warn them about to avoid?
I think just the big mistake is just not realizing that sometimes your dog needs a little bit of a break, just like we do. So, I always tell people, pay attention to when you're doing the exercises, how your dog is breathing, because that's their equivalent of sweating. So if it's a light pant, that's equivalent of just a light sweat in us. And that's what we want to, that's something I want to aim for as we're exercising. But if they're starting to really do it like a very heavy pant, there's, drool coming out of their mouth, that's a dog that's too hot and you need to stop. So just paying attention to that, just realizing that's their equivalent of a sweat.
Yeah, great information. We're going to live long, healthy lives along with our pups. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Hannah.
Okay, we'll have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more